Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Wi-Fi battle. Today we have week 6 of the NGDL3 versus Kadri, a guy who we've seen a bunch of times here on the channel. And looking at his team, he really isn't bringing anything that I didn't expect knowing his full draft lineup, but his draft actually does match up pretty well against mine on paper, specifically because of the Zygarde that he has. I don't really have a whole lot to deal with that thing, unfortunately. And looking at my team, I did decide to make my second transaction this week, which was actually to downgrade my Alakazam from the Mega to the regular form. And the reason I did that was because I wanted to free up some money to spend on some other Pokemon heading into the second half of the tournament. And going into this match, I am actually 2-3, whereas my opponent is 3-2. So we both actually are at a pretty critical point in the tournament right now. Could both really use a win. In my case, to try and come back, and in his case, to try and solidify his status. So it should definitely be another good one, and we're going to get into it. So, looking at his team, I really wasn't sure what he was going to want to lead with. He definitely has a lot of solid options, but he actually ends up leading with the Heliolisk, as I decided to lead with my Seismitoad. So, turn 1 here, he is definitely going to outspeed me. Unfortunately, he is actually carrying the Grass Knot, which I was not expecting. That is going to catch me off guard and unfortunately one-shot kill my Seismitoad there, dropping me down to 5 Pokemon. So a really rough start to the match for me. I am down right away. So I am going to come in with my Gudra, anticipating him to be a choice item of some kind, and he does go for the switch here, which kind of leads me to believe he is. He is going to switch in with the Porygon 2 and trace my Sap Sipper there. Not really going to matter though, since I'm not carrying a grass move, as I do go for a Sludge Bomb. Not going to do much of anything to this. It is most certainly Eviolite. So I am going to go for the switch here directly into my Aggron, as he is just going to go for an Ice Beam, so not going to do too much of anything there. And then this turn he is going to go for a switch, doesn't want to take an attack from me, so he is going to come in with the Hitmontop, and he is going to get the Intimidate to lower my attack, which is not good for me. But I am just going to go straight for the Mega Evolution here into Mega Aggron. And I do just go for an Iron Head here, trying to get damage on whatever he left in. That does take him down by about a third, which was not too bad considering the Intimidate. But then he is going to get some HP back with the leftovers. So I do have to go for the switch here. I really don't want to take an attack from this thing. So I'm going to come in with my Talonflame as he goes for a close combat. So that is going to take me down by a little less than half, which was not too bad, and that is going to lower both his defense stats as well, and then he is going to regain more health with the leftovers. So here, he actually goes for a Sucker Punch, which was definitely a huge surprise to me. You really don't see that on there too much at all. So I actually predicted a switch, so I went for the U-turn there, which does take him below half, and I do get the mandatory switch. So I'm going to come in with my Trevenant, and he is going to regain more health with the leftovers, leaving him at about half. So he is going to go for the switch here. I'm guessing he didn't want to go for the Sucker Punch, anticipating I would anticipate that and go for a status move. So he is going to go back into the Porygon 2, as I actually do go for the Substitute to go ahead and get that set up, actually predicting a switch on his side. So here he is actually going to go for a Foul Play, which was actually another pretty big surprise there. Didn't expect him to carry that, so that is going to definitely break my Substitute there, but I am just going to take this opportunity to go for the Toxic and land that to badly poison the Porygon 2, which is good, and then he is going to take some damage from the poison. So, here I am going to go for the switch. I know I'm probably not going to be able to survive a Foul Play from this thing, so I'm going to come in with my Gudra, as he does go for the Foul Play again. So, not going to do too much to me there, since I am a special set, and then he is going to take more damage from the poison. So here he is going to go for the switch. Poison damage is racking up, so he is going to switch out into his Heliolisk. as I am going to go for the Draco Meteor, knowing it would get great damage on anything he threw in, aside from the Clefable. So that is going to knock him down to about a quarter health, which was nice. It is going to harshly lower my special attack as well. For this turn, he is just going to go for a Volt Switch there. Actually gets the crit, though it didn't really matter, didn't do much since I am max special defense with an Assault Vest, but he does get the mandatory switch, and off of that, he is going to come in with the Clefable, as I am just going to go for a Sludge Bomb to play it safe here, which does take him down by about a third, despite the special attack drop on my side. Then he is going to regain some more health with the leftovers. So I do have to go for the switch here. I know that I can't do much with my special attack lowered, so I'm going to come back in with my Talonflame, predicting the Stealth Rock, but he actually just goes for Protect instead to try and scout me and regain more health with the leftovers. So again, he is going to go for the Protect, just to go ahead and scout and get another turn of leftovers recovery. I just went for a Brave Bird straight away, so not going to do anything there. And then he is going to regain more health with the leftovers. So then he is going to go for the switch once again this turn, back into his Hitmontop, I assume to get the Intimidate on me to lower my attack, but also probably predicting another U-turn. But I do just go for the Brave Bird again, since I am actually Choice Banded into that. And fortunately, that is going to be enough to take out the Hitmontop and drop him down to 5 Pokemon. And I am just going to be able to survive that recoil damage in the red with 7 health, which was pretty nice as well. So then he is going to come back in with Heliolisk, and I am going to go for the switch here. I do want to try and save my Talonflame, so I am going to come in with my Trevenant as he goes for the Volt Switch yet again. Actually gets another crit, which does drop me below half, but then my Citrus Berry is going to activate to put me back up to about 3/4. But of course he does get the mandatory switch, so off of that he is going to come in with the Sharpedo. And then my Harvest is actually going to activate to give me my Citrus Berry back, which is nice. But this turn I do have to switch out once again. I don't want to risk getting taken out with a Dark Attack here. So I'm going to come in with my Aggron as he does go for the Crunch. So that is not going to do a whole lot to me since I am max physical defense, but he is going to get the speed boost to increase his speed. And then this turn he is going to go for the switch directly back into his Porygon 2, not wanting to take an attack from me. He's actually going to trace my filter, which is actually kind of interesting. But I did just go for a Thunder Punch straight away, hoping he would stay in there. Not going to do a whole lot to this thing, unfortunately. But then he is going to take some more damage from the poison. So this turn he is going to go for a Recover, probably predicting a switch out on my side, just wanting to heal up. That is going to put him almost to full, but I did stay in here and go for an Iron Head, actually predicting the Recover. Not going to do a ton of damage there, but then he is going to take more poison damage, which is nice. So this turn I am going to go for the switch, predicting him to go for an attack. So I am going to switch in with my Talonflame as fodder, as he does go for the Foul Play this turn, which is going to be more than enough to finish me off and drop me down to 4 Pokemon. And then he is going to take more damage from the poison. So then I am going to come in with Alakazam, and I know I'm definitely going to outspeed this thing. I am just going to go straight for the Psychic here, hoping to take him out. And I actually end up getting a crit there. I'm not sure if it mattered or not since he was pretty low and I am max special attack. But either way, that is going to take out the Porygon 2, dropping him down to 4 Pokemon. So then he is going to come back in with the Heliolisk, which is again going to force me to switch out here. I don't want to take an attack from this thing. So I'm going to come back in with the Trevenant as he is just going to Volt Switch again, unfortunately. Getting the pivot, not doing a whole lot of damage, but he does get the mandatory switch back into the Sharpedo, unfortunately. So at this point, I really don't want to risk a switch again, so I just stay in here, and unfortunately he does just go straight away for the Crunch, which is going to finish me off, dropping me down to 3 Pokemon, and then he is going to get the speed boost to increase his speed. So then I am going to come back in with Alakazam, and he is just going to go for a Protect here, actually, to go ahead and scout me, see what I want to do. I just go for an Energy Ball, trying to take him out, so not going to do anything there, as the speed boost is going to raise his speed yet again. So then he is going to go for the Mega Evolution finally this turn into Mega Sharpedo. And he is definitely going to outspeed me now. He is just going to go straight for the crunch. And that is, of course, going to knock me all the way down to my focus sash, but I do survive because of it. And I am just going to go for an energy ball in return, which is going to be enough to one-shot kill the Sharpedo and drop him down to 3 Pokemon, which was nice. So then he is going to come back in with the Heliolisk here. And unfortunately, he is just going to outspeed me and go straight for a Volt Switch once again, which is going to be more than enough to finish off my Alakazam, dropping me down to 2 Pokemon. And of course, he does get the mandatory switch, and this time he is going to come in with the Zygarde, and the Aura Break is going to come into play, of course. So I am going to come in here with my Aggron. Then it is the best chance I have to survive an attack from this thing. Unfortunately, he turns out to actually be carrying the Z move, and it is actually the ground Z move, which is, of course, the Tectonic Rage. So more than likely, this is coming off of 1,000 Arrows, so it is very strong. And unfortunately, I am not going to be able to take one of those despite my max defense and filter ability. So that is going to take out my Aggron, dropping me down to just 1 Pokemon. So finally, I am going to come back in with Goodra. Not really going to matter at this point since I know he is definitely going to outspeed me. Go for the Outrage, and that is definitely going to be enough to finish off my Goodra. And that is game. So I lost that one 3-0 to Kadri, but that was still a good match. Thanks for watching again, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, and or subscribe if you did enjoy, and stay tuned for more new battles in the future. So that's it, and we'll see you next time.